Gordie Howe, your dad, probably the greatest hockey player for longevity in the game. Wayne Gretzky, the great Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, another great hockey player. Now they got Sid the Kid Crosby out there, Alex Ovechkin. Back when you played, it was one way they played the game. Now they play the game different. The rules have changed a little bit. It's a little bit more wide open type of hockey. They call more penalties right now. What do you think the difference is? You think that the difference is in hockey that they want to see more goals being scored and it's not more of a defense than an offensive game? Back in the old days, it was more defensive. What's the change from, say, when you played till now?
Well, the fundamentals of the game are the same, but actually a lot of the games are extremely defensive now, where teams will dump the puck in, then you see four guys in the neutral zone. You see the trap, and basically if you're playing a trap and if your goalie's playing halfway decent, you're going to have a one-goal hockey game. You're going to have a low-scoring game. And back then, what I liked about the game better back then was the game was policed more by the players. Now it's, I think it's really difficult for the officials. They're asked to do so much more now. A lot more is put on their shoulders for decision-making, making a key call on a penalty at a certain time. And but I think my dad was, all those great players, everybody said, well, Gretzky couldn't have scored that many points back in the old era. Oh, Wayne Gretzky would have scored in any era. As great a player, great a playmaker as he was. Mario Lemieux, for me, the most gifted hockey player I ever saw, bar none, was Mario Lemieux. I mean, his skills and his natural, his game was just phenomenal. But I don't know, the game's still the game. I like the game better. I thought the game was a little bit more entertaining back in the 80s, back in the 60s, than what it is now. And plus, there was a lot fewer teams, so now
more talent on each team when that is.
More of the talent is more spread out.
Right.
So, and with the salary cap system, most teams will have 7, 8, 10 players that are your base, your core, and then you fill in around the rest of that team with some other guys. Whereas, I mean, like I'm working with the Red Wings, you go back to the Red Wings 10 years ago, we had 4 lines, and if you wanted to play tough, we could play tough. If you wanted to outscore us, we would outscore you. We could play the game any which way. Those days are gone because you can't afford to have a 23-man roster anymore. Yeah. The numbers just don't allow for it. So you're seeing a lot. You're seeing a lot more parity, which I think is good for in some cases, but in other cases it's not. There's some organizations that need to be strong. You need the Canadian team strong. I mean, Chicago, Boston, New York, Detroit, Philly. Those teams have been mainstays of the league for a long time, and if you lose 1 or 2 of them and the team goes down, the attendance goes down, I think you're losing a lot in the league that way.
Last question for you. The LA Kings get a championship. 2 ex-Flyers head the way. Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, Justin Williams, Simone Gagne on that team.
I thought it was Hextall, so I texted Hexy when they got into the final, and all I wrote was, don't let this one slip away. So then after I congratulate him. So yeah, it's great. It's
good for hockey.
It's good for hockey, and they deserved it. I mean, and as good as they're playing, you look at it and go, man, they're going to have a chance to win again next year. So you know, as long as guys are young and you can keep them, once they start, everybody wants their piece of the pie, then it starts to split up. But no, but I'm real happy. It's just that's how close it is. I mean, there was a lot of rumors going around in February that if LA doesn't make the playoffs, their whole front office is gone. And they go from that to, boom, winning a Stanley Cup. So that's the scenario that I like to hear. You don't like anybody losing their jobs, whether it be rumors or not. So, like I said, and I'm happy for Hexy. So, I mean, I've been fortunate. I've won, I think, 4 of them as a scout with Detroit. And it's not the same as being a player, but your heart and soul is still in it, the same as everybody else.
Mark, thank you so much for giving us the news. This is Mark Howe, one of the best defensemen, if not the best defenseman the Philadelphia Flyers ever had. Thank you, Mark.
Great, thank you.
Thursday.